Hi, hope you're well. I was just thinking this before I started this video, so just moving myself over a little bit. I've got my glasses on today because I do wear contact lenses, and I just wanted to feel a bit more comfortable and not have to have my contact lenses in all the time. So this is me with my glasses on. So today's video is answering some questions about self-care and mental health. So I'm going to be looking at my phone. I hope that's okay, because that's where the questions are, and that's where I'll be giving you the answers. Well, I've written down some notes, but I will be giving some answers that I've written down as well. So yeah, let's get started. I had to move because my battery on my camera was dying. So here I am, still answering your questions, still going to do what I said I would. I've just had to move to a new place because I didn't want to wait for my battery to charge, so I have my camera on charge now whilst I'm filming the video, because I wanted to get on with it like I said I would. Okay, so the thing about the questions I've received is that they're all really, really long, so I probably will have to do this in chunks, so we can call it like a self-care clinic. So yeah, if you watch this and you have a question, send them in anyway, and I'll do this again because I feel like some of the questions, I'll try and summarise them, but even as long as they might take up a good few minutes as well. So okay. No names are going to be mentioned because I want to protect people's privacy, and yeah, it's the answer that's more important anyway, and they'll know what their question was. Okay, so first question is, I'm going to be completely honest, my mental health has not been the best lately. I'm caught in a vicious circle of comparison and doubt, and A-levels have sucked the life out of me. I find it hard to even do the smallest tasks, like waking up in the morning and want to hide away. I'm constantly so stressed, I'm behind on revision, which causes me to be more stressed, and it's the same situation every day. I need your help. So, gosh, I remember my A-levels, they were so stressful. I found them more stressful than my degree, to be honest with you. I've never felt exam stress like that before, and I remember being in the library all the time. And I know that's not, the stressful part is the trying to learn and looking around you and seeing people that are really academic. I was not an academic child. In fact, I had dyslexia, but I didn't get diagnosed till I was an adult. So imagine, I was dealing with all that, had no idea I'm still doing my A-levels and trying to learn like everybody else. So I really sympathise with what you're going through, and I just wanted to say that it really depends on the school. I'm going to be honest, some schools aren't great at looking after their students' mental health and well-being, but they are getting better. So in the first instance, I'd say, is there anybody, do you have that facility at your school or college? And if there is, seek it out and talk to them, because that's what they're there for. Another thing is comparison. I could do a video on comparison, maybe I will actually. It is the thief of joy. It takes away from the person that you are called to be. We are all called to be individual people, and it's such a shame because since social media's come along, but I will say it's, before that, but it's just even bigger now, that we compare ourselves to other people and their lives and how well they look and appear to be doing, when it's not. It might be the case, it might not be, but the point is that you are an individual and you have your own path, your own gifts, your own journey in life and comparing yourself to somebody else. It's pointless. You don't know what they're going through. It might appear that they are achieving and doing well, but you don't know what they're going through to get those grades. They could be up all night under loads of pressure from their parents. You have no idea. I mean, the other thing is, if they are an approachable person, you could even ask them and say, how are you managing? What are you doing differently to me, or what are you doing to manage your exam stress? How are you learning? How are you scheduling your time? You could even ask them what they're doing, and that might help, because that's the other thing. You can ask them, and you might be surprised at what they tell you. Actually, they might be buckling under pressure just like you, but just wear it differently. The other thing I'd say is take some time off social media. When I'm under pressure and I feel like I've got lots of stuff on, I come away from social media, I come away from WhatsApp, I just come away from this as much as I can, and I just get my head down and I concentrate on what I need to do, because this is a massive distraction. And honestly, it's crazy how easily distractible this thing is. There's things that I need to do and I'll find myself on Facebook. It's just weird. It's really weird, especially when that's not what you were planning to do. You might have gone to message somebody back and you're suddenly on Facebook or Instagram. You have to be really disciplined on yourself and say, this is more important, because it is more important. You'll always have this to look at and come back to, but you won't always have the time to revise for your A-levels and your exams. So be disciplined in that. Make sure that you take breaks, go for walks. The weather's getting a little bit better. I say this, might have snow this weekend. The weather's getting a little bit better. It is at this present moment, and I would advise you to take walks and breaks between revision, and just to clear your mind. Things tend to make a lot more sense after a walk, actually. All that walking, it gives you time to mull over things, clear your head, do a bit of mindfulness, look around, see what's going on, and just to breathe. And I know that will make a lot of difference as well. Another thing that I do personally is that I like to write down how I'm feeling, just to get it out of here and somewhere else, and that way I can digest what's going on with me, rather than just kind of mulling over it in my head and ruminating on it and making it bigger and bigger. Once it's out on paper, you'll be surprised. Oh no, actually I'm not going to say write it in your phone, because that's what we're trying to get away from, but you'll be surprised at how much smaller things seem when you have written them down and you can look at them differently. It just makes things seem a lot less big than they seem when everything's piling up in your head. Another thing, right, sorry, I am going to refer to my notes. It's really important that you get enough sleep. And this is, a tough one actually, because I know with exams you can spend a lot of time throughout the day, going to classes and everything else, and then spend the rest of the night revising. It's really important that you schedule your time. That I remember doing that. I'd get up early, go to the library, revise in between having breaks, and then I'd spend the rest of the evening just having time off, because your brain cannot work when it's exhausted. And I know that a lot of us think that we must push ourselves, or we've got this culture of going hard, or I'll sleep when I'm dead and all that silly stuff. No, sleep while you're alive, enjoy your life and get your sleep. Get 8 hours and then get up in the morning with energy to be able to digest your revision and the things that you need to do. Another thing, like I said, is to listen to some music. music is one of the things that I tend to lean on when I'm feeling quite stressed. If I could show you now, I'm actually listening to Smooth FM. Well, I'm not listening while I'm recording this video, but when I feel a lot of anxiety, I tend to lean towards music, and it depends what my anxiety needs. It might sound weird, but I listen to Smooth FM a lot, or I might listen to Classical FM actually, and or I might listen to some hardcore grime or rap or hip hop, and or I might listen to some R&B. It just depends on what my anxiety needs. And I literally go through my Spotify or the music channels and just see what feels right, and I'll switch until I find the genre that kind of, okay, this feels good, I'm going to leave this on, and just work with it like that. Another one is to just let it all out. Talk to somebody. I know that's what you did, and that's why you reached out to me. Talk to somebody, let out your frustrations. You know, it sounds mad, but just go somewhere and just scream, you know. Run, you know, get that extra pent-up energy that you have inside of you and put it somewhere. Go to the gym, go for a run, go for a walk. Just don't let all that energy sit inside of you, because that's another thing that's going to have you feeling on the edge. It has to go somewhere, and it can't stay in you and then leave you able to do and concentrate on the things that you need to do. So I really hope these things are helpful. I know that it's not easy. It's really not easy, and it's not an easy time. And I really sympathise with you and the exam stress that you're going through. But you can do this, and you will look back at your A-levels and just think, I'm glad that's over, and that you're glad that you stuck with it. And remember this, actually, exam results don't make you, and I know that they make you feel this way at university. I mean, that's in your education, but just look at all the people that have done well regardless of their exam results. I, for one, like I said, I'm not academic, and I didn't get good grades, and I had dyslexia and I didn't know it, and I would like to feel like, I'd like to think that I've done quite well considering that. I didn't get the best exam results. I actually don't remember what I got, but I got an unconditional at uni, and that was not because I was academic. It was because, I'm just sorry about this. It was because, I guess, I don't know if they had like a criteria to fulfill, and they just wanted me in, but I feel like it was more about the person that I was, because I certainly didn't do well in my exams. I was definitely like I think the highest exam result I got was a B in I literally can't remember, but I'm going to be real with you. There was some D's, there was an E, and it hasn't made a difference. It really hasn't made a difference. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't try, because of that I did try, but it's not going to be the making of you, trust me. So I hope that's helpful. Let's go to the next question. Again, they are quite lengthy. So here is the next question. Hi Natasha, I heard of you from the Dreamer's Disease podcast, which is what I was on. Go and have a look at that if you're interested in hearing more about my self-care journey and the things that I do. And I felt like I could relate to what you said a lot, and I wanted to say that it's amazing that you are out there helping, guiding people who actually really need it, and giving them the extra reassurance that it's going to be okay. Thank you. That means a lot, because you know, as much as I do help people and it feels good, sometimes I feel like I'm not doing enough, because sometimes I get so many requests of people, so many messages, and I can't help everyone because there's things that I need to do. And sometimes I feel a bit of guilt for that, and I'm just like, I just want to help everyone, and I literally just can't. It just doesn't work like that. But thank you so much. We all need encouragement. I'm still learning to come to terms with my anxiety, and I've been doing a lot of self-help things such as meditation, yoga, and it's been great. However, there are still things that I struggle with. Social anxiety is a big thing for me. I'm currently at university in my final year, so there's lots of presentations and group activities that I need to do. From previous presenting experience, I've absolutely crumbled. My heart doesn't stop racing. I tremble and I can hear it in my voice, and I sound like I'm about to cry. It's just a massive mental block, and it's not just presenting, but in general, even talking to people. I find it very hard to think of something to say, so I come out with something really irrelevant. I was at an interview a few weeks ago and I made no sense when answering questions, and the interviewer told me to calm down and said I looked nervous. That's helpful, isn't it? Situations like this terrify me. I'm going to try and cut this down because it's quite a long one. I've tried everything out there, helping doctors, medication, and either way, thank you for your time, and you want to remain anonymous, which is fine. So, God, I relate to this. I mean, as an anxiety sufferer and someone who doesn't like public speaking, even though I'm doing this, and it's funny that I do this because I'm doing this to help me push myself through my fears of public speaking, and the fact that I do have social anxiety and general anxiety. It's a part of me trying to face my fears, basically. And social anxiety and general anxiety is a real hard thing, especially when it comes to talking to other people. Let me tell you something. Yesterday I was in a Pilates class, and one of the teachers came up to me just to talk to me, and he was saying, you know, just having a nice conversation, and then I randomly just went, "Thank you." He didn't say anything, he didn't compliment me, he didn't give me anything. I just randomly said thank you, because sometimes anxiety just kind of makes you like a bit of a deer in headlights, and you're just trying to keep up with the conversation. You're trying to put your best foot forward, and you're just thinking, don't say something stupid, and don't say something stupid, but then you do, and you just go thank you, and I thought, oh my God, what stupid, what the hell did you just say? Why did you just say thank you? Luckily, him, and even if he was baffled by it, he didn't make me feel like it, but I didn't beat myself up too much. And I just got on with the class. But honestly, that's what I'd say to you. Really try not to beat yourself up. Presentations are bloody hard, and if you've got anxiety, they're even harder, because you are just trying. Instead of thinking about the presentation and what's needed to be said, all you're thinking about is don't mess up, I look stupid, don't say something stupid, I'm going to say something stupid, I look stupid, they don't want to hear what I've got to say is irrelevant. And the truth is, nobody is thinking that is watching you doing this presentation. Nobody is. They want you to do your best. They are there to hear what you have to say, and you just have to remind yourself that every time. I do a thing called, where I ground myself. This is not what I use, but I have a stress ball that is in the shape of a brain, actually, and I hold that in my hand when I'm doing a presentation, because it helps to ground me. It just helps to channel that energy somewhere that's going all around, and because I show it physically, like you said, it just helps me to keep my body still. So I would advise you do something like that. Have something in your hand. Don't worry if about it distracting other people. It's not, it shouldn't do. Just hold it in your hand, and it'll help you stay steady. Breathe. I know that sounds a bit obvious, but it's not. When you have anxiety and you are doing something publicly, you tend to just have really fast, shallow breaths, and you cannot think straight, and you're not concentrating. And so you need to breathe, take some deep breaths and make sure they're rhythmic, and that will help settle your anxieties down a bit. The other thing is, I would say, take some notes. it does depend on what the criteria is for your presentation, but I am a big believer, if you have social anxiety when it comes to public speaking, I'm all for taking some notes. And I'm not saying, you know, have a big piece of paper that you flip over, but put them on little cards or have them on A5 pieces of paper and just flip them over in a way that isn't distracting to everyone. And do it like that. I don't care. Take your notes. Whatever helps you get through that presentation, and know that you are going to be okay, and everybody is there not to see you fail. Everything that you are telling yourself isn't true, and just think about what you are telling yourself, because it's all lies. And from a social perspective of talking to others, it is a difficult one, because again, it's that thing of, don't say something stupid, I'm going to say something stupid, and you're not. And even if you do, just laugh it off like I did yesterday. You know, I didn't even beat myself up for it, actually. I'm progressing. If you say something silly, you say something silly. People say silly things all the time, and you know, don't beat yourself up for it. It's normal. What was I going to say? I was going to say something else about... oh, the other thing is, you can actually say no to certain social situations just to self-care for your anxiety. You don't have to go to everything. I've said no to certain things to not trigger my anxiety, and you can as well. If it's something that you must go to and it's part of your university work, then see if you can take a friend or give yourself an amount of time that you're going to stay for and then go. You know, I would just know that people there aren't there to see you fail, aren't there to laugh at you, aren't there to make you feel silly. No one there is going to be any harder on you than you are on yourself. So try to remember that. And also another thing that might help you is repeating an affirmation to yourself and telling yourself that all is well. It's okay. You're going to be fine. Something like that you can constantly repeat to yourself. Another thing is, on YouTube there are videos that can help you out on making small talk. So that's another thing, because you just think, oh, what am I going to say to these people? You know, it's simple conversation. Don't think that you're going to have to say something really grand and massive to impress people. You don't have to impress nobody. You know, just ask them where they're from. How are you? How are you? That's such a big conversation opener. Or ask them where they've travelled from. How was your journey? Don't overthink things. And I know that sounds a bit of a silly thing to say to someone with anxiety, but try your best, because it's never bigger than it seems in our head. So I really hope that's helpful. And I know this video is really long, and I'm going to stop it here actually, because it has been a long video, but I hope that's helpful. And if you do have any more questions, send them in, and I'm going to do another video, because this video is longer than I anticipated and I don't want you to fall asleep. So thank you for sending in your questions, and I will see you in the next video. And please send your questions in, comment below, email me, natasha@freeyourmindcic.com, and I will answer anything within reason. Take care and have a good day. Bye.